Our next presenter is Margarita Galtsova, and I just wanted to point out that Margarita took part in our competition, and she won the competition of sorry, she was the second best in the competition. And as soon as she appears on our screen, I guess we should congratulate her on that. I hope she is happy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to take part in the 12th International Conference Veterinary Medicine in the Poultry Industry. I'd like to thank those who voted for my scientific work during the competition. And today I'd like to talk to you about the prevention of stresses of different etiology in the poultry industry. In terms of physiology, stress is a deviation from the optimal conditions of feeding, growing, and it could be caused by various factors that impact the productivity. Therefore, stress prevention is a relevant economic challenge that, if solved, will reduce the costs for the costs of production. The stress classification is shown here. I guess you're all familiar with the cold stress, the thermal stress, the environmental stress, noise stress, lighting stress, are also part of the environmental stress category. Technological stress pertains to the production processes. Transportation stress is also in this category. The feed stress is not just about the mycotoxins impact, but also the structure and the form of the feed. Chemical stress is caused by the ammonia, CO, and various treatment regimens. Psychological stress is caused by the hierarchy in the flock. If the male chicks start to dominate the flock, injury stress is not just hog burns, but also biting. Biological stress is associated with laying rate peaks and so on and so forth. And stress in a poultry farm is caused by multiple factors and their combination. And the very first thing that you should pay attention to is the oxidative stress caused by free radicals. They affect proteins, acids, and that causes inflammation and multiple hormonal cascades. Neural and endocrinal stress causes morphological changes in tissues and cells. It boosts secretion of corticosteroids, and the adrenal cortex releases adrenocortical hormone. Then we see a reduced level of ascorbic acid. Ultimately, that causes disorders of metabolism and the immunity in general. The CO2 levels in the blood go down, blood pH goes up, and the first thing you notice is the reduced feed intake. That causes disorders in energy balance. The detoxification systems no longer function properly, and uric acid accumulates and causes various problems, and that reduces the productivity and the survival rates. And it takes a short period of time to cause problems shown in the photo on the right-hand side. What should we do? Well, prevention is your answer, and prevention should be based on 3 pillars. The first one is selection aimed at increasing the resistance to stress factors to improve the quality of hatchable eggs. It's important to follow the herd management practices and ensure biosecurity. We need to minimize the impact of the stress factors on the poultry by planning the poultry density in summer when the thermal stress is going to be a definite problem. Ensure some water cooling in the hen houses, ensure the right ventilation, and aim efforts at maintaining feed and water intake. Feed and pharmaceutical drugs can mitigate the stress impact on the poultry. For instance, feed solutions should primarily focus not only just on the composition, but also on the quality of the pellets, the overall microbial content, prevention of myco and toxicosis, and improving digestibility. Using stress protectors is about pharmaceutical treatment and pharmaceutical ways to prevent stresses. As for the herd management techniques, they are aimed at reducing the transportation stress, the technological stress, but first and foremost, you should focus on the proper methods used by flock managers, adhering to biosecurity practices throughout the production process, following the feed guidelines, preventing toxic content. Proper operation of the equipment at the poultry farm and using anti-stress food supplements that can not just prevent technological and injury stress, but also mitigate the consequences. As for the feed solutions, the first thing to envision is to reduce the antioxidant oxidative stress by using antioxidant. I'm not talking about natural antioxidants such as selenium and vitamin E, as well as trace minerals. Other elements could be used to reduce oxidation of fat. The feed intake goes down if the poultry is stressed out. Therefore, you need to envision other ways of administering amino acids. The energy content in the diet should be high enough, and other stress factors should be taken into account. Beta-in carnitine should be inherent in the feed to ensure the right energy balance and metabolism. Additional intake of chloride choline will ensure neuroregulation, hepatoprotection, and regeneration. Sorbitol will ensure the right storage of glycogen in the liver. Diuretics are important in case of a chemical stress. Electrolyte balance will also be maintained at the thermal stress. And the best pharmacological solutions are not just about adding vitamins and premixes into the drinking water, but also using essential oils that could be mixed into the drinking water. Osmogenic hepatoprotectors with amino acids and immunomodulators would stop the expression of cytokines. pH of the water is another thing that you should keep a close eye on. I also wanted to add the following. There are more feed and food supplement solutions. Any prevention requires a comprehensive approach. And do not pin your hopes on aspirin and vitamin C to deal with the stress. You will not be able to deal with the stress if you use pharmacological solutions only.
профилактика комплекс, это решение сейчас, но и выработать стратегию на
You should also focus on developing a prevention strategy looking forward to ensure the right performance indicators. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you, Margarita.